vida me parece aburrida. Más cerveza para la cabeza.
First of all, what got you started into the beer business? How did you get into being a brewmaster?
Well, I kind of fell into it. I was studying biology up at Cal Davis in the early 80s, and I got into the fermentation science program, which is mostly winemaking, and then I found out about the brewing science program they had there, so I ended up doing that.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I kind of lucked into it. It wasn't what I planned to do, but once I got to college, I figured it out, and I was like, yeah, it was a no-brainer.
So what's your inspiration for making the beers that you guys make for the Stone?
I've only been at Stone for 3 years, so a lot of the beers here were already developed and going full bore when I got here. I started off brewing in a pub brewery, and then I worked for 14 years for Anheuser-Busch. So I knew how to make a lot of different kinds of beer. I always liked Stone beers, and so when I got here, it was just basically learning how they approach brewing and trying to take that and run with it.
Now, my personal question for you regarding your beers, I've been trying the different IPAs that you guys have. I tried the Ruination, and I tried your Stone IPA, and one thing that struck me was that from trying different Stone beers, they're usually really strong. They have a kick to them, and just the Stone IPA was a lot mellower than what I thought. What's the difference between the Ruination, the IPA, and the Belgique?
Well, let's start off with the Stone IPA and the Cali Belgique. They're the same brew coming out of the brew house, simply fermented with different yeast. So the Stone IPA is fermented with our house yeast. The Cali Belgique is fermented with a Belgian yeast strain, and we've changed strains a few times. And then because of the Belgian yeast strain producing a lot of that banana and clove kind of flavor, the Centennial hop that we use in the IPA wasn't coming through as strong as we'd like in the Cali Belgique, so we switched that over and started using Chinook hops in the Cali Belgique. So bottom line, it's the same beer, different yeast and dry hop differently. Ruination has pretty much the same ingredients as Stone IPA, but a lot more of the same. So you get a lot more alcohol in the beer. The dry hopping's about 3.5 to 4 times as much what we do in Stone IPA, and the whole dynamic changes completely. You know, when you have the higher alcohol, it carries a lot of flavors differently, and then there's just a lot more of them to go around. So that's pretty much the difference between the beers. One thing I'll say about our IPAs though is we tend to brew very pale IPAs, not a lot of crystal malts, because crystal malts and hops kind of conflict with each other and they tend to mask each other. And so we do when we do IPA, we do a fairly golden colored beer with just a little bit of crystal malt just to give it a little bit of extra body and complexity, but not a whole lot.
And what's next for you guys here at Stone? What upcoming projects do you guys have? I know you guys just released today the 13th anniversary.
13th anniversary came out today. We're brewing the Vertical Epic, the 2009 version right now, which is going to be a Belgian porter. So it's a porter, it's a strong porter that we brewed with Belgian yeast, and we're adding some vanilla and some tangerine and some French oak to it. So it's going to have a lot of good things going on.
Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate your time. It was nice to meet you.
Yep, nice to meet you too.
Subieron